Tomar, more correctly pronounced Tomar, is a small town 130 kilometers from Lisbon. You can get here by car via highway in about an hour and a half, or by train at about the same time. It's usual to come to Tomar for the Templars. This town was a Templar stronghold in Portugal and has a Templar Castelo or monastery that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Meet Gualdim Paes, founder of Tomar. Gualdim grew up in a monastery and early entered military service. He fought alongside the future first king of Portugal, Afonso Henriques. After the famous Battle of Arique, he received a knighthood by him. Then he spent 5 years in Palestine as a Knight Templar. After his return, he became a Grand Master in Portugal of the Templar Order. Let us move to the fortress on the hill above the city, because that is where the city began. The fort was founded in 1160. A year earlier, the land on which Tomar is located had been reclaimed from the Moors during the Reconquista, the return of Iberian Peninsula to European rule after a couple years of rule by the Moors Emirates. The Portugal monarchy was just beginning. It all took place during the time of the first Portugal king, Afonso I. The Templars helped Portugal a lot during the Reconquista. That's probably why they were given these lands. In addition, the lands were on the front line, so the Knights of the Order of the Temple not only equipped their headquarters, but also helped keep the conquered kings, repelling the raids of the Moors. In the future, by the way, the Portugal kings kept a good attitude towards the Templars. At the time of elimination of the order in early 14th century, instead of burning Templars or imprisoning them, as it was in France, King Dinesh I founded a new Order of Christ, which automatically consisted of former Templars and took over the Templar estates, including Tomar. But back to the year 1160. The city began with a fortress, and the fortress began with a rotunda, a round-shaped temple, as if repeating the shape of one of the buildings on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. The Templars and other Crusaders believe this was part of the Great Temple of Solomon. Unfortunately, a restoration is ongoing, so the dome is in the scaffolds and you can't see it from the outside, but let's see it from the inside. The Grand Masters of the Order included some of Portugal's most famous figures, for example, Henry the Navigator or King Manuel I, and each added to or improved something in the fortress. Different architectural styles were mixed here, not without the Lejeune and Manuelino style, of course. Unfortunately, the most famous detail in the Manuelino style, the magnificent window, is also under restoration. Here is the photo from Wikipedia. Such country yards are called cloisters. There are 8 such country yards in the fortress. "180 arcs, 6 kilometers long, 30 meters maximum height. This is the aqueduct. It was built in the 17th century to supply the Templar castle with water. Although rainwater collected in the monastery was sufficient for cooking and drinking, it was not enough for land cultivation. Therefore, in the early 17th century, an aqueduct was laid to the fortress, and it took 21 years to build, but it was worth it. The Lisbon aqueduct is similar to this one, but you cannot just walk there, as I do now. You have to buy a ticket and probably cannot walk whenever you want to. But here you can just get and walk. And while we are talking about water, and this is not precisely a famous site of Tomar, Of course, the city's beautiful lights appeared not so long ago, but in the early 20th century, the city streets were lit with electricity, and all thanks to water. In the center, there is even a monument to the wheel. Already in the 18th century, during the reign of Queen Mary I, factories were built here that used the energy of the water to work. It's roughly how it used to work. You see, at the top there is a transmission of torque from the wheel's rotation by water, and next it's brought by pulleys to the machines. Now it's a museum exhibit on the site of the workshops, but other factories work roughly the same lines. And this is how electricity was produced. The principle is similar. Water twists the wheel, and from the wheel the rotation is transferred to the generator, and the generator generates electricity. The tradition has been preserved, and near Tomar they continue to produce electricity using water, but on a slightly different scale. It is one of the largest reservoirs in Portugal and the second highest dam. It was built in 1951, and at its construction it produced several times larger power than all hydroelectric power plants in the country. The dam and reservoir supply electricity and water to Tomar, Lisbon and its suburbs. I wouldn't say this dam is the biggest one, but I never see such a power water dump here. It's probably because of the rains last month, and they have to deal something with the water. I don't know. Anyway, it's much impressive. Tomar is a fascinating and unusual city. Be sure to go here if you are in Portugal.